Hello, good evening everyone. I hope my audio and video is clear to you. Clear everyone, say hi everyone. Okay, hi Sumit. Manu, hi. Okay. Okay, thank you. So in the beginning, whatever you find, audio, video, all clear, something is there, something I forgot, you let me know, okay? Now let's start. So what are the key takeaways from yesterday's class? You tell me, you guys tell me. Key takeaways. The first class is very important because whatever geography, okay, you're going to study further. So through that lens only you'll be studying the geography. You tell me, everyone should reply. Okay, so notes making, okay, very good. So the way in which you should be making the notes. Next takeaway. Others also please reply. Don't be idle. Nandan, Sumit. Yes. And remember this thing, this is very important. Geography is equally human also. This is very important. So most of the people forget this because they think that geography is just about, okay, mountains, plains, plateaus, etc. So geography is equally human. And while writing the answers, I also told you the answer writing format. Answer writing format. So in this, you should also include the human aspects. And can you quickly recall what are the various dimensions while you write the answer? Which all dimensions should come? Very good, Manu. भाई सुमित, तुम भी रिप्लाई किया करो. तो फिजिकल में what all aspects? Human में what all aspects? So ये सब जितने भी dimensions, what I'm saying, okay, please ratify. Please mug up all these dimensions. So that is how you will be generating the answers. Okay. Now let's move to the next part of the geography. Now yesterday we have seen the definition of geography, right? Geo plus graphy. So basically it is the study of earth. And what all aspects of the earth will be studying? Okay, we have seen. Now, there is something called as the principle of centrality. See, all these things, extra things which I am telling you, please you note down in the margins because these are not part of your major notes. But this will be helpful to you elsewhere also. In fact, no, okay, whatsoever extra things I'll be telling you, I guess in no other subject you'll be getting so much of diversity. Because geography as a subject is like that. A geographer studies everything. And these kind of things will be helpful to you in essay also. I'll tell you very, okay, simple example. What is this principle of centrality? For example, let's take the stage of the atom. Okay, let's take the take of the nucleus. So, nucleus is the center of the atom, right? And numerous atoms, okay, they make planets or satellites, let's say satellites. And the satellites are revolving around the earth. Earth is a part of solar system. Solar system is part of Milky Way galaxy. Milky Way galaxy. And Milky Way is part of a local cluster. and this is part of a supercluster. And beyond this, what is there? Nobody exactly knows. I also don't know. So finally, you have this universe. Means, if you have to say in Hindi, principle of centrality means हर जगह सबका कहीं ना कहीं एक बाप होता है. Something of that sort. My expression may not be right. Okay. Means किसी ना किसी का हर जगह कोई ना कोई बॉस होता है. So this is the principle of centrality. Now, geography is the study of Earth, right? Now, if you want to study the Earth, you have to study little bit of this. We have to go down the ladder. Also, we have to climb up the ladder. So if you want to understand how this solar system has been formed, what Earth is made up of, for this we need to study the formation of the universe. So the first topic, okay, here is the formation of the universe. Now, universe formation can be explained by various theories. You have numerous theories. So, some are theological also. Theological. In fact, every religion has its own theory of the formation of universe. And most of the religions, okay, they believe that the universe has been formed because of some creator. So some creator has created this entire universe. So this is their theory. Like this, you have string theory. You have this plasma theory. But these theories cannot explain each and every aspect of the universe. सबका अपना अपना theory है. But see, no theory can explain it fully. But we have to rely on some theory. Okay. So as of now, today, there is one theory which explains the formation of the universe to a very large extent. And that theory is the Big Bang theory. Big Bang theory. See, again I am telling you, whatever we'll be discussing today, okay, this chapter, the formation of the universe, planets, etc. Right? Now, after every topic now, you also write down what is the importance of this topic. This should be very clear. Whether questions are going to come in the mains or prelims, you should know. So from here, the questions will come in prelims. But these questions are less of geography and more of science and technology. More of science and technology. And secondly, questions in the mains will not come from this at all. Because this is not the core of geography. And अभी तक GS में नहीं पूछा है. And you can say that, sir, in GS, okay, it hasn't been asked. Okay, then how can you say that it will not be asked in the future? Because I have been seeing the questions in the optional as well. See, if you want to know what kind of questions will be asked in the prelims, then you also look at the mains question, optional question paper. For example, you want to know what kind of questions can be asked in society. So go and look at the optional paper, what kind of questions are being asked. So there is a alignment between these two. The questions will be somewhat similar in nature. So when they are asking the questions in the GS, they will be little toned down. Okay? So that is how you speculate the questions. And sometimes same questions are being asked. Right? Okay. See, paper 3, okay, and paper 1 also similar question has been asked. I'll show you an example here. So yesterday we are also discussing questions, right? For example, look at the question here. sea water intrusion, process of desertification, so these are the questions from Indian physiography. So these are the questions from Indian climate. Yesterday, did you get the questions from the previous year questions you got? Anyways, I will show this to you later. Now, after every topic, you should write this on the bottom right part. So, prelims, science and technology perspective, and mains, no question will be asked. But for your practice, you can write 1 or 2 questions in the beginning. So, write the questions also. Means in the worst case scenario, if at all any question will be asked, so these will be the questions. So for every topic we'll be doing this. What are the questions which have been asked previously? So here, here I'll be focusing majorly on the mains part, because prelims questions I cannot write. And once you get the pulse of the mains, prelims will become very easy, extremely easy. Anyways, prelims pointers, I'll make you write everywhere. You don't worry about that. So write down mains question, just because of lack of time. Anyways, you got the question paper booklet, so you can figure out and you can paste it here, or you yourself can write it down. So write down the questions which can be asked from this topic. First question. Explain the various theories which explain the various theories of the formation of the solar system and the earth. The same question can be asked in a different way. Write down second question. Explain the nebular accretion theory. Explain the nebular accretion theory. And how do Laplace and Kant differ? Laplace and Kant differ. Same question can be asked in different way, third way. The solar system formation is revolutionary as well as evolutionary. Discuss. The content is going to be the same, but the question, the way in which the question has been asked is different. So let's discuss. These are the maximum questions. See, again, write down. They will never ask the formation of the universe. Write down this also explicitly. For every topic you should know. Formation of the universe they will not ask in mains. See, like this homework, if you do for every topic, in every subject, this exam is very easy. It's a cakewalk, because you know what kind of things are going to be asked, and you will be having your own handwritten notes which is of 300-400 pages. Do you think it is that difficult to study? In fact, in your 10th class you must have studied this much for every subject. So make this clear, okay? For every subject you should be having a master copy like this. Now let's see, okay, I'll explain you the formation of the universe in brief. Now according to Big Bang theory, like initially there was infinitesimally small point in the universe which had almost infinite energy. It had infinite energy. And such kind of infinitesimally small points in the universe which will be having infinite energy, infinite density or infinite mass, they are called as the singularities. This has been already asked in the prelims. So this is how questions in the prelims will be asked. What is a singularity? So how they'll be asking? Singularity recently seen in the news, okay, with respect to the formation of the universe refers to what? Like that. Because why I am mentioning here with respect to universe? Because singularity means something else when it comes to AI, artificial intelligence. So what is that you found out and tell me. Okay. Very good, Nanda Kumar. Okay, you are right. So this had infinite energy, and from here the Big Bang has taken place. The Big Bang. A kind of huge explosion happened in the universe, and from here everything started expanding. Initially the rate of expansion was very high. Now the rate of expansion is almost constant. So this is also called as expanding universe theory. Expanding universe. So more about this you will study in science and technology. So from 0 to 10 to the power of minus 13, 10 to the power of minus 13 seconds, this is also called as the Planck's time. That is the smallest amount of time we'll be measuring. Again, I'll not be dictating all these things because they belong to the domain of your science and technology. So I don't have the time to explain all these things. Some are missing. So 10 to the power of minus 43, this is called as Planck's time. So minimum amount of measurable time. So during this time, now what has happened during between this time, nobody knows what happens, because the laws of physics which we know are completely failure. This is also called as a Planck's time. Something which is happening in the quantum world here. And the gravity, whatever forces we know today, electrostatic, force, the gravitational force, the nuclear force, the weak force. So everything cannot be defined. And some scientists are of the opinion that all these were combined together in a form of a single unified force. So these are the various theories. We don't know exactly what has happened here. But the temperature was very high during this time. So basically you had immense amount of energy. So firstly I'll tell you in short, okay, then I will dictate. Now this is the Planck's time, and gradually the energy got converted. Energy got converted into mass. So Einstein has given this formula, E is equal to mc square. So initially there was only energy, and today we had the mass. Now what kind of mass was created in the beginning? So initially something called as the quark gluon plasma was created. Quark gluon plasma. This was created. And the quark gluon plasma, it had immense amount of energy. And gradually gradually, the quarks have become the neutron and proton. Neutron and proton. And also there were leptons in the universe. Leptons. And neutron and proton, they have given rise to the nucleus. And one of the leptons is electron. And when the universe has cooled to some extent, the nucleus plus the electrons, they have formed the atoms. And the basic atom which has been formed earlier, it is the hydrogen. So hydrogen is the fuel of the universe. So this hydrogen, okay, was scattered earlier here and there in the form of a cloud. And this cloud, this hydrogen cloud, is called as nebula. And over a period of time, because of gravity, these hydrogen atoms, they started coming together and the mass started to concentrate in the middle. And the mass, when the hydrogen atoms, when they clump together strongly in the middle, so in the middle, the temperature has risen. Again, one more rule in geography. Whenever it is hot, I'll be using a red color. Whenever it becomes cold, okay, I'll be using blue color. So it has become very hot in the middle, extremely high amount of temperature, and this temperature has risen to around 15 million degrees centigrade. At this temperature, at 15 million degrees centigrade, the isotopes of hydrogen, that is the tritium plus deuterium, they have collided with each other. After collision, they broke and nuclear synthesis has taken place. New nucleus started to form. So we can say that two hydrogen atoms have collided with each other. They have fused into each other and they have formed the helium. And this has given rise to immense amount of energy. This is nothing but nuclear fusion reaction. So this immense amount of energy, okay, from the middle of the nebula, it started glowing. And this glow was manifested in a form of light, and that is how the first stars were created. And these stars over a period of time, because here the hydrogen atoms have come together they have formed a star. Again, these stars, they have come together to form the galaxies. And the galaxies have formed superclusters and local clusters. That is how gradually the universe has been formed. So even if you remember these things, great. Okay. More than this much of detailing is not required. So energy say you had quark-gluon plasma, and remember the word something called as cosmic inflation. So during this time period, the universe started expanding at a very high rate, and this has cooled the universe a little bit. After a little bit of cooling, quark-gluon plasma is formed. And this quark-gluon plasma is important because we are able to create this now, where in LHC, Large Hadron Collider, which is in the border of Switzerland and France. So with experiments we are able to create this, but beyond this we are unable to create. That's why we are unable to study this. What happened during this time period, nobody knows. We are unable to create because I think the humans are not capable of creating so much, almost infinite amount of energy. It's not possible. So gradually they have created, these are called as hadrons. Hadrons, leptons, nucleus plus electrons, atoms, hydrogen, basic fuel, then you had star, galaxy. And how the planets have been formed, okay, we'll start after a little bit. Is it clear to you everyone till now? Any doubts here? Any doubts? If no doubt is there, you can say no. Okay. Then write down. Again from here, science and technology based questions, Ganesh, which part should I repeat? Galaxy, okay. Anyways, I will dictate the notes, okay, so that you'll get some time to internalize the things. So even if you're having doubts now, you can tell me, right? Now write formation of the universe, okay. Planck era, first point you write. The Planck era, very important. This can be asked in the prelims. In the bracket you can write down. Someone please show me your face, because depending upon your pace, I will dictate. Someone be my friend, please. Someone means no one will come in India. Huh? Earlier, who was there? Yes, Hafiz. Thank you. My friend. Chalo, Planck's era. Planck's era is 0 to 10 to the power of minus 43. 0 to 10 to the power of minus 43. So I'll tell you the most important points which can be asked in the prelims. Okay. So it was very hot. Around temperature was 10 to the power of minus 32. 10 to the power of, minus 9, 10 to the power of 32. This is the most hottest imaginable temperature. Right? Means the temperature beyond this is not possible. What are extra things I am saying? Write in the margins. These kind of things will be immensely helpful to you while answering the questions with respect to science and technology. Of course, you will be taught science and technology also, but again, I think here you have we'll be having better understanding. Again, second point is very important. All the fundamental forces, all four fundamental forces may have been unified. May have been, the word is important. May have been unified. Now in the bracket, if you want, you can write these four fundamental forces also. See why I'm dictating, why I'm asking to write like this, because in examination also you should follow the same pattern. If you want to express more in less, put in the brackets. So what are the four fundamental forces? So write in short: strong force, weak force, electromagnetic force, and gravitational force. What are these? Okay, you'll study in science and technology in detail. May have been unified. And this phase is beyond modern day physics comprehension. And this phase is beyond the modern day physics comprehension. So next one is cosmic inflation. Cosmic inflation. Now if this question is asked, how UPSC will be asking questions, Cosmic inflation, recently seen in the news, is associated with option A. It is unemployment combined with inflation. B, it is rising prices associated with low growth in the economy. C, It is when the inflation crosses double digits for the 3 consecutive quarters. D, universe. So that is how, okay, whenever UPSC will be asking, okay, some new word, okay, which is, okay, in the scientific circles. So generally they give a question like this and they try to confuse you. So there, if you know the meaning of that word, it becomes very easy. And such kind of questions generally should not be attempted, because until and unless you don't know, you should not attempt. Because inflation, if you haven't heard this word, inflation generally you associate it with economy only. And the 3 options which I have given are associated with economy. So universe you will not even think of, even in your wildest dreams. So it's a trap question. Okay, be very careful. So this was around 10 to the power of minus 36 to 10 to the power of minus 32. 10 to the power of minus 36 to 10 to the power of minus 32. The universe expanded. The universe expanded. And the quantum fluctuations. And the quantum fluctuations have become the galaxies and superclusters. Galaxies and superclusters. Means during this time, this is tiny time when the universe was very small, okay, most of the matter was uniform there and some fluctuations which were there. Imagine them as dots in the earlier universe during this time. So they have today become the big, okay, superclusters, means galaxy sky supercluster. So that are quantum fluctuations. Next phase is energy turns into matter. Simply you can write E is equal to, third is E is equal to mc square. You will understand this, right? So energy is getting converted into matter. So this is 10 to the power of minus 12 to 10 to the power of minus 6. 10 to the power of minus 12 to 10 to the power of minus 6 seconds. So it is fraction of second. So as the universe has expanded, it has cooled. As the universe has expanded, it has cooled. And the energy has produced the mass. That is quarks, antiquarks, and leptons. Now you see here, you have the quarks and antiquarks. Basically this is the matter and this is the antimatter. For example, the matter here is electron, antimatter is positron. Means a positive charge of electron is called as positron. So let's not get that complex. There's something called as matter and antimatter. So whenever the matter and antimatter, when they come together, when they come in touch with each other, it will lead to huge explosion. They annihilate, means they destroy each other and they produce immense amount of energy. And it is also a theory that in the beginning there was equal amount of matter and antimatter. But today in the universe, somehow we see only matter, we cannot see any antimatter. Because if there is antimatter anywhere in the universe, right? So obviously, okay, it will be in touch with the matter, and it will lead to huge explosions, and those explosions will be almost similar to the incidents like Big Bang, and they will outshine the entire universe. Means even during the daytime, okay, if there is any annihilation of matter and antimatter in the universe somewhere far away, it will even outshine the sun. It is like huge explosion happening in the sky. But nowadays, okay, it is not happening. Earlier, okay, they were happening. So even if there is some antimatter in the universe, okay, it must be somewhere in the corner of the universe. But again, how it entered into the corner of the universe, no one knows. And there is one more theory which says that, for example, okay, there is a billion antimatter, there was billion plus one matter. Means matter was produced little bit more as compared to antimatter. Again, why it happened, no one knows. And this is the theory which says that this billion antimatter, this billion matter, this have annihilated, completely destroyed. And whatever that plus one, billion plus one, which was there, so that has today led to the formation of the universe which we see. The stars, planets, galaxies, clusters, black holes, supernovas, etc. Again, this is one more theory. So we'll not complicate it this much. I'll tell you in a very simple sentence. I hope till now whatever I said, you are able to understand, comprehend. Clear, right? So any difficulty you're facing, okay, please ask. Because since you're doing it for the first time you must be listening for so many things, okay, you must be getting a lot of confusion. So whatever you learned before, unlearn all those, okay, and detecting in a very simple manner, it should be easy for you. I'm not even using the textbook matter here. I don't. In the beginning, there was almost equal amount of matter and antimatter. Matter and antimatter. And when the matter comes in touch with, the antimatter, they annihilate, 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 giving rise to immense amount of energy. Change a para. But for some reason, there was tiny excess of matter. Which has today formed the stars, planets, galaxies, etc. So next stage, so little bit of matter is left now. That is, the quarks will now form the protons and neutrons. So this has happened around 10 to the power of minus 6 seconds. Write down. The universe has cooled. as it started expanding, and quarks have come together, to form the protons and neutrons. Now the universe contained radiation, protons, neutrons and electrons. Protons, neutrons and electrons. So next one. First nucleus. So this is around 3 minutes after Big Bang. See, as the universe is expanding, it is slowly cooling also. Now here you had the protons, you had neutrons, and also you had electrons. But again, when the temperature is high, the kinetic energy also will be high. And these two have to come together. Protons and neutrons have to come together to form a nucleus. These two will be coming together to form a nucleus. And after the formation of the nucleus, since nucleus will be having positive charge, around the nucleus the electron also should come. But again, if the energy is high, if the temperature is high, this electron will not be staying in the orbit. If you are even giving a little bit amount of energy, this electron will fly away. Something called as ionization. So, just because of solar radiation, which is falling in the atmosphere, in the higher layers of the atmosphere, the atoms will be losing their electrons. Because the solar energy, for example, imagine this is solar energy. The solar energy will knock off this electron. Means इसको धक्का देके बाहर भेज देगा. Because this is so fragile. Because the force here between the electron means the electrostatic force is not that strong. Whereas the force inside the nucleus, that is between the neutron and proton, is strong. Because these two are binded with strong nuclear force. And these two, the electron and the nucleus, they are binded by comparatively weak electromagnetic force. So it all depends on the strength of the force. Okay. So if it is complex, I will explain you. I'll make you write in very simple words. So now the formation of the nucleus. How the nucleus has been formed? Because the energy has reduced. Even you must have seen, if something expands, right? What happens? It cools little bit. So universe has cooled little bit. So when the universe has cooled, protons and neutrons, they have come together. But now it's still very hot. That's why electrons haven't come near. Because even little bit of energy, they will fly away. Understood this part? Is it clear? Am I clear? Chalo. That is nucleus. 3 minutes. Protons and neutrons fused. Protons and neutrons fused together to form the nuclei. Next point. The electrons are still drifting. Because of high energy. So next one is opaque universe. Opaque universe. So this is up till, okay, a few minutes, means 3 minutes to around 3,80,000 years. Now why it is opaque? Because so there was energy in the universe. This energy was there. So there's energy in the form of radiation. Means imagine light. Means under photons, electromagnetic radiation is there. But here the universe was so dense that this photon, this light radiation is unable to come out. Means it is going, this traveling, hitting with the nuclear photons. Again it moves, again it hits, again it moves, hits. Like that, it has to hit so many particles because it was so dense. So the light was unable to come outside. Okay, it is opaque universe. Write down. Write that now timeline also. 3 minutes to 3,80,000 years. The universe is filled with free electrons, photon, not proton, photon means light, right in the bracket, photons and nuclei. The light could not travel freely. Because of immense density. So at this stage there were no stars, no galaxies, nothing. Okay. Next stage is recombination, or you can write the formation of atoms. Next is recombination or formation of the atoms. So this was about 3,80,000 years ago. 3,80,000 years after Big Bang. The certain timelines are very important here, okay, in the universe. Now here, before this, what all things have existed? You had the nucleus and you had the electrons. So nucleus will be having neutrons and protons, and the protons will be having positive charge, and electron has negative charge. Now the energy has reduced a bit, that's why the nucleus will be able to capture the electron, and the first atom is formed. The first atom which has been formed, so it is simple proton and an electron. So this has given rise to the hydrogen. If one neutron and one proton, this has captured one electron, this has become deuterium, and two neutrons plus one proton, if it has captured one electron, this has become tritium. And these three are the isotopes of hydrogen. So the hydrogen is the basic element of this universe. It is the basic fuel of this universe. So is everything clear? These are little bit complex topics. So non-science students, are you able to understand? Non-science. Any confusion, non-science? Who is nonsense here? Someone please reply if you are listening. Okay, good. So Nandakumar, no confusion you are saying or not understanding? No confusion, right? Yes, clear. Okay, good. Chalo. Now, recombination, you right? The temperature has reduced. Temperature has reduced to around 3000 Kelvin. 3000 Kelvin. The electrons slow down. Electrons slowed down to combine with the nucleus. To combine with the nucleus to form the hydrogen atoms. To form the hydrogen atoms. Now earlier what was happening? Earlier, okay, the things were scattered here and there, and the light, the photon was hitting with them, it was unable to come out. Now things have come together, right? So because of this, the light was able to escape. That is when the first light has come, very important point. Then suddenly free electrons disappeared. Free electrons disappeared. The photons were not scattered. The photons were not scattered. And the universe has become transparent. Universe has become transparent. That is 3,80,000 years after Big Bang. 3,80,000 years after Big Bang. The first light emerged. The first light emerged. Underline this statement. First light emerged. I'll tell you one more very interesting point. I'll show you one picture. Maybe, okay, you'll be able to visualize this. So where did you see this picture? Such kind of picture did you see anywhere? This one, have you seen anywhere? Or, okay, if you have watched, the beginning of Game of Thrones, when you observe the beginning, some kind of disturbance comes, some kind of sound comes. Unable to get that picture. Have you guys seen this anywhere? I don't have the picture of that. So this is very interesting. This is called as cosmic microwave background radiation. See, initially the universe was very small. Pay attention here. This is very interesting topic, very important topic. Initially, the universe was small and the universe started expanding. So, here the particles themselves are not moving. The universe, the space itself, the space-time itself is expanding here. Particles are no moving. Very important. No particle movement. The space-time fabric, this is expanding. Now associated with this, I'll tell you one more theory. If you know, one more phenomenon I'll tell you. Are you guys familiar with, very good Nanda Kumar, very good. Are you guys familiar with this electromagnetic spectrum? You have cosmic radiation, then you have gamma radiation, then you have X-rays, then you have UV radiation, then you have the visible radiation, you have infrared, micro and radio. So what happens as the energy is decreasing, the wavelength increases. So here the energy is on the higher side, then the energy is low, and the wavelength keeps on increasing. So in a simple way, if I have to explain you this phenomena, wait. If the electromagnetic radiation has, this is high frequency, right? That means energy is very dense. These points, okay, denote the energy. This is one point, this is second point. Means energy is densely packed. Now, when the universe is expanding, when the space is expanding, what happens? The distance between the energy points, okay, increases, means energy becomes less dense, and the wavelength increases. This you understood, everyone? So, the energy which was released earlier at the time of Big Bang, the energy is very high, extremely high. Therefore, the frequency was high. It was unable to come out. But 380,000 years after the Big Bang, this energy, okay, this electromagnetic radiation is started to come out of this universe. So then, because of the expansion of the universe, the wavelength has increased. So today, so earlier it was of very high energy. It was somewhere here, beyond something. यहाँ पे कहीं था ये. And today, the universe has expanded to such an extent that it has become microwave. So today, it is in the microwave part of the spectrum. Had you gone into the, if you are traveling in the past, few billion years ago in the past, it must be in the infrared, visible or UV. After say 4 or 5 billion years in the same universe, it must be falling in the radio wave spectrum. You don't know. So as the universe is expanding, so imagine this is the first electromagnetic spectrum which has been released after the Big Bang. It was constant earlier. Now since the universe has expanded, now it is microwave. If the universe expands even more, the wavelength will increase even more. And this is that CMBR. This is called as cosmic. Why it is called as cosmic? Because it is associated with the formation of the universe. Why it is called as microwave? Microwave because today it is in the part of microwave band of the spectrum. Means today its energy is, okay, in the microwave. And why it is called as background? Can anyone answer? Why it is called as background? So this CMBR is there everywhere in the universe. Wherever you go in the universe, you will find this CMBR. And it is almost uniform in the universe. Means you check this, okay, near the sun, near the earth, you go to Andromeda galaxy, you go to TUN 618, any galaxy in the universe or any black hole in the universe, there constantly you will find this radiation. That means it is a proof that it is associated with the birth of the universe. And that's what is called as cosmic microwave background radiation. Now, to your generation, you don't know, but if you are belonging to the earlier generation. So, in the earlier generation, okay, when we were kids, okay, we used to have this, TV antenna. TV antenna. I don't know whether you have seen this or not. Aisa kuch, yeah, something of this sort. Have you guys seen this? No? Nahi dekha? So what we used to do is that, this TV antenna used to be on the top of the house. And we have to direct this, okay, in the direction of the TV station. Means one person used to stay inside the house, other person was on the rooftop, and we used to move it. Okay? And when the signal catches, the person who is in the house used to tell, stop, no, signal is coming. But when the signal is not coming, when the signal doesn't come, it will show something of this sort in the TV. So this one. What is this? If your antenna is not catching the TV signal, TV station signal, that means there is some other energy, some other radiation which is there in the universe, which is coming in your TV. And this is cosmic microwave background radiation, and this is the proof of the expanding universe. This is the proof of the Big Bang, and this is the proof that the universe is expanding. Okay, write down this. So next one is, this one you understood? Am I able to explain this clearly? Nonsense background? Good. Chalo. So next phase is CMBR, cosmic microwave background radiation. Very good. At the same moment, that is 380,000 years ago, 380,000 years ago, the trapped light from the plasma, finally escaped. And this ancient light, which is traveling even today, is called as CMBR. If you want, you can draw this also. Initially it can be anything. Initially it was cosmic, gamma, X-ray, UV, visible, infrared. Now it is micro. So initially it was in the higher end of the spectrum. In the bracket you can write visible light, simple language mein. And today it is in the microwave band. Next point. As the universe expanded, the wavelength stretched, very important. The wavelength stretched. Next point, write point wise. Each and every point can be asked in the prelims. CMBR is present uniformly throughout the universe. CMBR is found uniformly in the universe. And its temperature is, you can say temperature or energy, both same. And its temperature is 2.7 Kelvin. 2.7 Kelvin. So next stage is cosmic dark ages. Cosmic dark ages. See, finally the hydrogen atom has been formed, right? Hydrogen atom has been formed. But this hydrogen atom is scattered in the universe. And gradually these hydrogen atoms, they are coming towards each other. So they will come towards each other and they will form nebula. Nebula. Or else it is just in the form of the dust. This is just in the form of the cosmic dust. So only when they come together, form nebula, after this they have to concentrate in the middle, only then the star will be formed and then the light or energy will come in the universe, right? So since no light, no energy is there, this is called as the dark ages. So cosmic dark ages. So this is from 3,80,000 years to 100 million years. 3,80,000 years to 100 million years. Now the universe is transparent. Now the universe is transparent. But there are no stars. There are no stars. There were hydrogen gas clouds. There were hydrogen gas clouds. Next point. So here comes a new word, something called as dark matter. Dark matter. So more about these things you will study in science and technology, but again briefly I will explain here since it is associated with my subject. Now why these hydrogen atoms were coming together? As you can say, gravity. But gravity itself is not sufficient enough to hold these nebula or galaxies together. So there is some other matter which is holding the galaxies together, but we can't see it because it does not emit any light. So that's why it is called as dark matter. Means कुछ तो matter है universe में, वो galaxy को hold करके रखा है, दिख नहीं रहा है, इसलिए उसको dark बोलते हैं. Next point. The dark matter is pulling, Nanda Kumar, you are right, is pulling the matter together. Is pulling the matter together. Now gradually what will happen? Next stage, what is the next stage? Can anyone guess? So next stage is the star formation. So this is around 100 to 200 million years. 100 to 200 million years. So you can draw the diagram here. So this is where you have this hydrogen cloud. And dark matter plus gravity started pulling this cloud together. And finally, a lot of hydrogen has concentrated in the middle. Okay, I done. So the gravity compressed the hydrogen cloud, hydrogen cloud. The temperature has increased. Temperature has increased. Eventually forming nuclear fusion reaction. Nuclear fusion reaction. So in the bracket you can write H31 plus H21 giving rise to helium 42 plus energy. Energy is important here. Of course, you'll be having one neutron also. You can ignore that. And stars were created. So next point here. Now the stars which were formed in the beginning, now they were gigantic stars. In fact, no, this has been asked in the prelims once. Okay, now I'm asking you, you have two stars. One is a gigantic star, very big star. One is a small average star like sun. One is sun, other is a gigantic star. This has been asked in UPSC. Now specifically these kind of things you will not be reading anywhere. Now tell me, you have a big star and you have a small star. Now which will be having more life? Okay, Sumit is saying small star will be having more life. Nandakumar is saying big star will be having more life. See, I am not expecting for any right or wrong answers. What is your logical reasoning? That is more important. So if you are saying something, you should be having some backing. That backing I will appreciate. Right and wrong कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Answer तो eventually आप सीख ही लोगे. And ये वाला okay, it's there everywhere. But what backing you have, that is more important. Okay, see, big star, what happens is that in the big star, the compression is very high. More and more atoms will be coming together. The density will be high. Because of the increased density, increased temperature. So more intensity of nuclear fusion reaction. So this will burn very fast, immensely. Whereas in the small star, the gravity is low, the compression is low, because of which the temperature at the core will be low. Low temperature means with less intensity it will be burning. That's why this will be having a long life and this will be having a short life. So bigger the star means lesser life. Understood? This has been asked in the prelims once. Now these kind of things you will study where? Matlab explicitly you will not be studying anywhere because these are all new things. And for example, for science and technology you are reading, in fact in geography also these kind of things are not mentioned in NCERTs. If you take the NCERTs, these are very new things. It is not mentioned at all. And even if you are taking any science and technology book, again there are very irrelevant things because the science changes day by day very fast. And the things which were relevant yesterday are irrelevant today. So you will not find it anywhere. Yes, Sumit, you are right. Okay, write down. So during this stage, the stars were gigantic, but short-lived. Gigantic, but short-lived. See, in the yesterday's class, I was telling you, show, don't say, right? Now, without saying anything, I have shown many things here. I have shown this in blue, I have shown this in yellow color. Can anyone tell me the logic? Why I have used two different colors here? It is not just for a distinction. So सुमित बोस, ओके, आपके स्टेट में पहले ब्लू कलर था हर जगह, अभी पूरा ऑरेंज कलर हो गया. हाँ, बंगाली. See, I'll tell you logic for this. So you have seen this Vibgyor. So on this side you have high energy, on the red side you have low energy. So this is where your yellow is there and blue is there. So the star which has high amount of energy, bigger star, gigantic star, are blue in color. The average stars are yellow in color. This has been asked in prelims. Write in the whatever I say. If you don't know anything, write down. That's it. This is a rule. And one more point I'm telling you, which is also important. See, you guys know the periodic table, right? Periodic table. See, you have hydrogen, means one proton. You have helium, lithium, beryllium, boron. So this is the nucleus. And to form a higher element or to form a bigger nucleus, more energy is required. So more energy for the formation of bigger elements. So why the initial universe had only hydrogen? Because later on they'll be fusing, okay, into each other and they'll be forming bigger elements. Means two hydrogens will be colliding with each other. They'll be forming helium. Helium will collide with hydrogen. It will form lithium. Lithium with hydrogen, beryllium. Beryllium will again fuse with hydrogen, boron, carbon, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, like that. So bigger and bigger elements will be formed. So since in the beginning you had bigger stars, so the chances of formation of carbon, oxygen will be very high. Now sun is a very average star. That's why in the sun you have around 73% hydrogen and around 25% you have helium. So since sun is a very average star, you don't have higher elements. Means sun के पास इतनी शक्ति नहीं है कि it can produce carbon, oxygen or iron or anything. So right now our body is not just made up of hydrogen, helium. It has various other elements. So the elements which are in the human body did not just come from the sun or star like a sun. So the elements which are there in our body must be the byproducts of this earlier universe. So during those times they must have been formed. This is one theory. Understood? So during this stage, so you had very big stars. So big stars have higher energy. Therefore they can form higher elements. Or heavier, you write, heavier elements. So these stars had these stars had carbon, oxygen, iron. Why I am picking up these only? Next sentence you'll understand. These stars had carbon, oxygen, iron. And without these, your body chemistry would not exist. Your body chemistry would not exist. So even if somebody is saying that around 300 million years ago, because most of the textbooks have this, around 300 million years ago, the first star was formed. You can write this. In the bottom line, you write around 300 million years ago, the first star has been formed. Next, a group of stars will be forming what? Galaxies. Now, the galaxy formation. So, the galaxy formation was very intense between 300 million years to 1 billion years. 300 million years to 1 billion years. Write down. The stars began clustering into galaxies. And the dark matter played a very important role in holding these galaxies together. Next point. Milky Way is such galaxy. So these are the various types of nebula which you can see here. So nebula is nothing but it's a hydrogen gas. So this is how the nebula looks like. At center of the nebula, the star will be formed. So this is how tritium and deuterium will be combining to form helium. So next topic here is the formation of the solar system. Okay, you have any doubt here? The formation of the universe is clear to you? Okay, good. So after every class, make sure that you revise everything so that it will become clear. And if you see, there are so many theories of formation of universe, they will say things in a different way. So read only one source. I think I've simplified the class notes in a very good way. And also I've told you what kind of points will be asked in the prelims. So stick to the notes only. Again, don't read various sources and get confused. And your notes should be there with you till your selection. I hope you're writing the notes in a form I said, and write your notes as legibly as possible. Why I'm telling you logic here, why legibility or good handwriting I would say is important. Have you ever seen any topper's answer copy which has bad handwriting? Any topper or anyone who is getting a rank, show me one copy which has bad handwriting. दिखा क्या कभी आपको? In fact, they will be having a very good handwriting. if your handwriting is not that great, not that beautiful, at least you should be having good presentation. In fact, your answer sheet should look like this. I'll show you the format in which your answer sheet should be looking. See, margins, this is the margins which will be there. This is how the UPSC answer sheet will look like. So this is where the question is. Question, okay, 1 or 2 lines. This is the question. And your answers in geography should be looking like this. So if you are writing an answer, first, okay, 1 paragraph. Please, okay, note down this format of introduction. This is the intro. After intro, somehow draw a grand diagram. Okay, this can be a map or flow chart. And then they must have asked some, okay, the question can be broken into 1 or 2 parts. So write down the first part here. First part, heading, box it. And then, okay, the heading will be having, subheading will be having, again 2-3 parts here. It will be having 2-3 parts. Say A, this part, and draw a diagram here again. Again 1 or 2 sentences. A lot of things should be shown inside only. And then B, again side heading, box it, very important. Boxing, unboxing, very important. Again some diagram you draw, pictorially represent, 1 or 2 lines you write. And then C, again side heading, some diagram. Now the question will be having second part. So I will highlight this part. So this is 1 subheading. The second subheading. Again this will have subparts. 1. Again diagram. 2. Again 1 diagram. Okay. 3. Like this. And finally, you should have the conclusion. Right now, okay, you make this format in your class. Notes make format bana lo. And if your format is like this, you will be getting very good marks. It should look like this. It is very much presentable. And tell you the logic behind this. See, around 20 questions are asked. 20 questions. Now, tell me honestly, in one paper you will be having 20 questions. If you are an examiner, I am giving you a paper. In 2 papers, okay, I am giving you 2 papers, 2 candidates' papers. They have the same content. Content is same. But one is having beautiful handwriting, one is not having beautiful handwriting. Don't you think humanly you'll feel that you should give half a mark extra? Just half a mark? Logic. Yes or no? Now, for every paper, just because you have legibility or beautiful handwriting, you'll be gaining 10 marks extra. That means for 4 GS papers, you'll be getting 40 marks extra. And you have optional also. Optional mein paper 10 aa gaya. Essay around 70 marks. And 70 marks is the difference between you getting an IAS and you getting Indian Railway Traffic Service or some defense account service. So this is the difference. That's why each and every person who is qualifying will be having very legible, in fact very beautiful handwriting. And this presentation will matter a lot. And the strategy is half of your preparation. 50% is your content and 50% is your presentation, which answer to write when. In 3 hours, are you able to write all the answers? How much time you should be writing for which answers? First, you should be attempting 20 marker question, or first you should be attempting 10 marker question, and in which combination you are attempting this. this strategy is 50%. 50% comes from the knowledge. So that's why, I will, in between the classes, I'll be telling you all these things, because nowhere you'll be getting all these things. And these things I'm telling you out of experience. So you guys should not ignore such kind of things. Understood? So where are we here? Yeah. Which topic? Formation of the solar system, right? So next topic is the formation of solar system. I'll show you this. So initially what you had is a nebula. Nebula is nothing but it is a cloud of gas, hydrogen gas, plus you had dust particles. And the solar nebula did not just have hydrogen, but also it had some rocky fragments. The rocky fragments means nothing but silica, iron and other metals you had in this. Now guess from where these must have come? Because most of it is hydrogen and some part is helium. So from where these have come? Just now we have discussed. In the earlier universe, you had big stars. These big stars had very huge amount of energy, and that has given rise to these higher elements. Now gradually what will happen, this hydrogen will come together because of gravity. It will collapse in the middle, and then in the middle the star formation will take place. Star formation. So finally the sun will be born in the middle. So because of the nuclear fusion reaction, that is hydrogen, the tritium and deuterium, it will be fusing into each other, it will be forming a helium, and energy will be released and neutron. So the sun is there in the middle, and also along with the sun you have a lot of dust particles and other gases, because all the hydrogen, it won't be able to go into the middle. Now what happens is, you have the sun and also you have these fragments. You have this rocky fragments, and these rocky fragments are called as planetesimals. Planetesimal means, these are the prototype planets. Now what will happen? So because of the gravity, these planetesimals, they are not just revolving around the sun. While revolving, they also will come in contact with each other. They will start colliding with each other. So when they collide, huge amount of energy is released, because they will be having very high speed. And because of this high temperature, these planetesimals, they will fuse into each other, and they'll be forming bigger blocks of rocks. So gradually over a period of time, these small fragments, they'll fuse into each other and they'll be forming bigger ones. So once they have become bigger, their gravity will also increase, and within their sphere of influence, whatever small fragments are there, they'll be pushed into this bigger rock. And over a period of time, it will be able to clear its gravitational pull zone or gravitational influence zone. And finally, it will be forming a planet. Now, when these planetesimals, when they come towards each other and they'll form big, okay, they'll become big. Now, all the planetesimals will not be colliding head on. Head on collision will not be there. You'll be having oblique collision. Oblique means, okay, you must have seen these South Indian movies. So how the hero-heroine interaction will be happening. So hero-heroine, okay, they'll be in the mall, they'll be moving towards each other, and hero will suddenly, what will they will do? He will dash the heroine, and the heroine will revolve. Okay, the revolving is to show her hair, that hair is flunging, etc. The same fashion, okay, when these planetesimals, when they collide with each other because of oblique collision, so this will acquire rotation. So this lump will acquire rotation. So now this is, since it is molten, it will be semi-solid. It is not solid. Imagine a hot clay. It's solid. And when it is revolving on its axis, when it is rotating on its axis, it will acquire a spherical shape. Because of the balance in centrifugal and centripetal forces. And here pay attention, very important. Now since, okay, this planetoid, it has been formed because of this has been formed because of immense amount of energy. It will be having red hot molten lava or magma. It's completely semi-solid. It's kind of molten rock, lava jaisa hai. But over a period of time, it will also start cooling. So the outer layers will become cool. The outer layers will gradually become cooler over a period of time. But the inner layers are still very hot. It hasn't been cooled completely. And the heat which is present inside this, even till today, this heat is called as residual heat. Residual means bacha kucha, the remaining part of the heat. And still it is revolving on its axis. Still it is revolving on its axis. And today the earth is in this state. So this is the earth, is the present day, means 4.6 billion years after the formation of the solar system. And this residual heat is responsible for all the types of geomorphological phenomena. Now, why you have this volcanism? Because the heat has to be escaped out from inside. And there are three modes of heat transfer. One is conduction, radiation, convection. Here conduction is not that effective because rock or silica, okay, or this molten lava is a very bad conductor of heat. And for the radiation to happen, it has to be transparent. Means if earth is made up of glass, complete glass, then radiation would have passed easily. but the earth is opaque. So that's why the only mode of heat transfer is convection, where the particles they themselves have to move out to transfer the heat. So that is how, okay, you have the lava formation. And when the lava erupts, when the volcanism happens, other geomorphological phenomena will also happen. Plate tectonics happen because of volcanism. Earthquakes happen because of volcanism. In fact, volcanism is the primary of all the geomorphological processes. And from this entire class, anyways, they will not be asking the formation of solar system. But the important takeaway from here is this residual heat. Because residual heat is responsible for volcanism. And in the later topics, in the entire geomorphology, we'll be dealing with volcanism, the earthquakes, okay, the mountain formation, plate tectonics. So don't forget this. This is a very important concept. So if you are asking me, is the residual heat is the only heat which is responsible for all this? No. The heat is also generated because of the pressure, because there are heavy layers which are stamping one over the other. And because of this gravity also, immense amount of heat is generated inside. And also inside the earth, there are radioactive elements. These radioactive elements, they get bombarded, such as uranium, means वो फटेगा, and they will also produce immense amount of energy. Earlier we used to think that the residual heat is the major driver, major source of the heat inside the earth. But modern scientific studies, they are saying that it is not the residual heat. In fact, it is the radioactive elements which are responsible for all the geomorphological phenomena. So you understood this part? So residual matlab, nothing, bacha hua heat hai. So I am with color, I am representing everything, right? So you see in this picture, when two rocks are colliding with each other, the kinetic energy is converted into heat energy. So the rocks will melt. So here all the rocks were molten, and it has formed like lal gola types ban gaya. And over a period of time it will cool. The cooling have shown black. The red means still. Okay, inside the earth. You must have seen, okay, if you see the interiors of the earth, I'll show you. See, this was a phase earlier. Everything was semi-solid state, molten state. Means you can't even go and stand. Means 4.6 billion years ago, if you wanted to stand over there, you will drown inside. It's like ocean of lava. Now over a period of time, so this has happened. I guess I don't have the picture here. I don't have the picture. So only the interiors of the earth is comparatively hotter. Understood? Chalo, okay. Formation of the solar system. Did you write anything? No? Write down. Abhi, now it is clear? Shomet Bosch? Okay, good. First write down. 4.6 billion years ago. 4.6 billion years ago. Inside the Milky Way. Inside the Milky Way, the gas cloud has collapsed. The gas cloud has collapsed. In the bracket you can write nebula. Gas cloud matlab nebula. And the center has formed. And the center has formed the sun. Center has formed the sun. Next point, right? 99.8 percentage. .8% of the solar system's mass is inside the sun. Next, formation of dust grains. Formation of dust grains. See, you can no what. See, I told you, show, don't say. For everything, whatever I am saying, see, everything is in the form of heading and subheading. So beside that, draw some diagrams, some rudimentary diagrams. You draw whatever I am showing. So in the surrounding disk, tiny dust particles collide to form pebbles, rocks, and large bodies. This process is called as accretion. This word is important. So whatever keyword you find, please underline it. In fact, you can also use this small trick. The font size of the keywords can be comparatively larger than the other words. Because don't let the examiner read everything which is written in your answer. See, here I have shown you the answer format. So don't stress the examiner much. The examiner should only read headings, side headings, bas, and diagrams. Don't let him or her go through anything. Why? Firstly, you're making the job of the examiner easy. See, bechare, unka bhi job hai, right? So they have to come to the UPSC office. They have to sit from 9 to 5. They'll be getting certain number of papers. And then they'll be correcting the papers. And most often, they are retired university professors. Their eyesight will be comparatively weak. They have this job to do. So help them write very legibly and help them catch all the keywords. So basically, you're helping the examiner. If you help the examiner will also help you in getting more marks. Okay. And secondly, when you follow such kind of format, in less words, you'll be expressing more. So you're showing more than saying. So these are the advantages. And what should be included in the introduction, what should be included in the conclusion, I'll tell you later. In fact, there is a video on answer writing. I will forward you on the group. Please check that video once. I myself have solved the 2025 paper. You see that at once. And also PDF also will be available in the description below. You'll understand the format of answer writing. In fact, I have given you 2-3 questions today. You can try those questions. Anyways, they will not be coming in the mains examination, but it can be a trial. Okay. So next step is planetesimal formation. Planetesimal formation. Small rocky bodies grow into kilometer sized objects called as planetesimals. Now, next point is important. A little bit of explanation is required. Now, in between you have the sun which is formed. The sun has been formed here, right? So near the sun, okay, you had all these rocky fragments. You had this rocky fragments because 99.8% of the mass is located near the sun. So the gravity is here. So these are the rocky fragments. So these rocky fragments, they eventually become rocky planets. Rocky planets, also called as terrestrial planets. So because they are heavy, they come towards the sun. Now little bit away from the sun, you will be having all gases. So these are all gases. So since they are lighter, okay, they have risen higher because center of gravity is towards the sun. And these gases, just like the planetesimal formation, they will also come together and they will form planets. And these gases will eventually, they collide with each other and they will form Jovian planets. Jovial planets. Now, in between these gaseous planets and Jovian planets, you will have a zone here called as asteroid belt. In asteroid belt, what will be having? In asteroid belt, you will be having rocky fragments. Because the rocky fragments which are present here, they were able to collide with each other, and finally they have formed the planets. Because here the gravity is high, they were able to collide. But again here, since they are far away from the sun, they are unable to collide with each other, and they have remained as fragment objects which are revolving around the sun. So they have become asteroid. Now you have gaseous objects, and these gaseous objects again they are able to collide with each other, and here also they have formed the planets and they have become the Jovian planets. Now away from this zone, you will be having a zone where the gaseous fragments are unable to collide with each other. So here you will be having gaseous fragments. You can also call them as icy fragments. They are unable to collide with each other. They are because they are far away. And what they will be forming? So they will be forming the Kuiper belt. And more away from this, the gravity is so low that even the proton and neutron is unable to combine with each other, and you'll be having this proton, neutron, electron, they'll be drifting away from each other because the energy is so low that even they were unable to come towards each other. and this is called as the plasma state. So now it makes sense. So the heavier, the iron, silicon, oxygen, the heavier ones, rocks, fragmented rocks, the lighter on gases, they collide with each other. Somehow they are able to form the planets, gaseous planets. Here, the energy is so low that they were unable to combine with each other, and there will be fragmented gaseous icy objects drifting and revolving around the sun. It's called as Kuiper belt. And if you're going even far away, the energy is so low that even protons and neutrons, they're unable to come towards each other, and even the atom is not formed there, and that becomes the plasma stage. Understood this? Okay, can you draw this? Please draw. Any doubt here you can ask. I am very happy that you guys are understanding everything. May I know your educational background, please? Soumit, what's your education background? So that I'll have an idea. MPC, okay, Chandan Nanda Kumar. And also, as a geographer, okay, I also have an interest in knowing your locations also. Sumit Bose, obviously Bengal. Chauhan Nanda Kumar, okay, I guess, let me guess you. You must be from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. मुझे लग रहा है. Telangana, I told you. So I am a geographer, so थोड़ा बहुत मुझे आइडिया होता है कौन कहाँ से है. So दोनों का गेस कर लिया. हफीज भाई कहाँ से हो? So Sumit Bose, you're in 3rd year. But how? Nanda Kumar is asking me how I got to know. Hafiz, Kerala. Kannur, huh? Kannur, Kasaragod, Malappuram, Nadanpat. Kottayam, acha. Central. Generally, the demographic distribution, what I know as a geographer is, northern part, okay, Malappuram, Kozhikode, Kannur, Kasaragod, okay, this area, okay, has Muslims. The central part, okay, you have Christians. Southern part, okay, this is what I studied in textbooks. I don't know whether it's really true or not. The concentration is high. Is it true, Hafiz? Okay. Because, whatever I study from the textbooks, I always verify it on ground also. So Nanda Kumar, which district you are from? Warangal, Karimnagar, Adilabad, acha. Utnur, Nirmal, where? Utnur, acha. See, I am able to guess your village also. Huh? So Sumit is asking, when we call the outer fragments as icy fragments, icy matlab, because of very low temperature, they have been frozen. You can also call them frozen fragments. So drawing is very important. Are done with the drawing? Okay. Good. Write down. near the sun, only metals and rocks survived, and they are formed rocky planets, or terrestrial planets. You can write down the names: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, etc. Bracket में. Next point. The outer cold region. In the outer cold region, the gases and ice survived, forming the Jovian planets. Now here's something called as solar wind. Solar wind means the high energy radiation which is coming from the sun. So the solar wind has cleared rest of the small particles. Next sentence you can write: the solar wind in the bracket you can write especially high energy radiation from the sun. Blew away the leftover gas and dust. Next you write asteroid belt. The asteroid belt has been formed from the fragmented rocks which were unable to collide with each other and form a planet. Now I am asking you a question. Answer me. Had the solar mass been little bit higher, do you think the asteroid belts also could have been formed a planet? Yes or no? So such kind of questions hypothetical questions UPSC will ask. So because of lack of gravity, the energy was not there, because more gravity means more speed with which they will be revolving. When they revolve with higher speed, they will collide, they will fuse into each other, and then they will be forming a planet. Now had sun had little bit lesser mass, near the Mars itself, you would have had an asteroid belt, right? So this logic should be very clear. Okay. Now tomorrow what we'll do is we'll discuss the important points related to the various planets. So in the beginning, I am taking more time because I want you to lay a good foundation for you, and the basics are very important. See, more than anything I want to develop a logical bent of mind. Because okay, nowadays this generation, they believe in mugging up. You also have been told that mug up these things, they will clear the UPSC. UPSC that requires more analytical reasoning, especially in the mains answer. Your answer should have an analytical construct which is solution oriented. So then only you will be getting good marks. So I want to develop that logical construct, and by choosing the geography in the beginning itself, you will develop this good logical construct, and the same logical construct you'll also apply in the other subject. You'll also see reasoning behind every subject. For example, in the polity, you will read that why for certain things 14 days is given, why for certain things 60 days is given, why the charge sheet has to be filed within 24 hours, or magistrate. For everything there is logical reasoning. And the books which you'll be studying outside, like if you are reading Lakshmikant for polity, the reasoning is not that great, right? So you should develop this logical bent of mind. And the PMF IAS booklets, you must have gone through. They have very good logical bent of mind, so you'll be getting all these logics there, and that is how you'll develop analytical skills and write good answers. So if you think that you have written good notes, then please you can take this screenshot or take the photo of your copy, and then you can post it on the group. I will tell you, or you can send me. I will tell you whether you are going in the right direction or wrong direction. So Sumit is asking, how can I join WhatsApp group? We haven't been added. Please ask Ashutosh sir, he will help you in joining the group. And please share the knowledge, whatever expertise you have, you can share with each other, you can discuss with each other. So last group which we had, this, what?
Rajkumar sir, we don't have a WhatsApp group, and it's available on the content page.
Content page, acha, okay. Please, yeah, Sumit, please contact Ashutosh sir, or you must have listened to sir, what he said. Chalo then, today I'll stop the class. Again, we'll resume tomorrow. And whatever has been done in the class, please revise on the same day itself. That will be highly beneficial for you. And after every class, make a mind map, and make a small summary of every class. And finally, at the end of the subject, entire geography has to be concentrated in 10 to 15 pages. So that will be helping you immensely in revision. Children, take care. Any kind of doubt you have, you can post it on the group, can discuss. You can also ask me. Chalo, take care. Bye.